beep, 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 beep. Boop, 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 boop. Hi everybody, this is Black Rhino Ranger. Now, previously last month I was unable to do any live streams because, in case you're wondering, I was in England for a 5-week trip. And because of that, I was not able to do any live streams. And also, because, and when I got back, I am still a bit jet lagged. And another thing you should know, fellas, that during this live stream, I have switched off the super chat because, for one, I'm still a bit jet lagged, and I want a little bit more simpler requests. I will still allow crossovers, and the super thanks option is still there, is opens, which means you can comment, you can use that for page requests during the comments, just not on the live stream though. So what else is there? And another reason is okay, what's surrounding me just recently. What just happens around me is I'm very sweaty today because my air conditioning is a bit is gone haywire. I am hot, let's say. Not hot as in something to look at. I'm just really boiling hot, let's say. So it's not easy for me to keep track. And another reason why I turned off the live stream is because I'm worried about a cease and desist letter from the official Eddsworld company. I mean, this has happened before. There was an animation project called there was an animation project called Eddsworld Fan Movie. It was about to be made, but then they had to scrap it because I think it was due to the Eddsworld company's wishes. Is they had to turn it down because of sponsors and stuff, and also because of the heat and my jet lag and stuff. I want this to be a bit shorter, so let's just have it for about an hour. All right, so all you gotta do is request me anything from just about 12 of these things that are Eddsworld related. There's the main characters: Ed, Matt, Tom, and Tord. Their addictions, if in case you like, Ed is addicted to Coca-Cola and bacon, Matt is addicted to himself, Tom is addicted to alcohol, and Tord is addicted to guns. Now I know what you're thinking, aren't alcohol and guns, this ain't really YouTube friendly. I'm taking it in a smaller dose. If I have them as a main theme, that's a big problem, but I'm taking it to a smaller dosage. Good. And of course their villain and rival counterparts like Eduardo, Mark, and John. Now Tord doesn't have an evil counterpart, but he does have somebody who fawns over Tord, Zanta Claws, the main villain of the Zanta Claws trilogy. And that's all you gotta do, fellas. Just ask me anything related to these things. If you have nothing to request, just ask me any question, and I will return the. I'm hoping I will return the super chats on my next live stream. Okay, let's see what we got so far. Okay, please check my generals. Let's have a look. Okay, let me check. I'm just checking my Discord for a minute. Let's see. What's happening on my Discord? Okay, so a British Milo the cat. I know way too many characters named. It's just clicked on the wrong layer. So, I know way too many characters named Milo. There's I know a friend from school who was named Milo, and I knew somebody named and of course there are a couple of characters I know named Milo. There's Milo from Atlantis, the Lost Empire. There's Milo Murphy, of course. Um, um, I think there was a character named Milo in Jumanji, the Next Generation, where when he enters the next level, when he enters, he does the zoologist. He plays the zoologist guy, and later he becomes a horse. While Danny DeVito, while the Danny DeVito character gets played by Aquafina, originally by Dwayne Johnson, but later Aquafina. Maybe one day I should do a Cosgrow Hove themed live stream, because it has because I know quite a number of shows and movies created by Cosgrove Hall. Well, they're the same company behind the original Danger Mouse, Count Duckula. I know another show from them, which is basically like Batman and the Phantom. I think it was called Phantom Cat or something. They also were the ones who made Avenger Penguins and the BFG move 1989. Maybe one day I should do a live stream focusing on that, but I'll need to watch a few more I'll need to watch a few more Cosgrove Hall shows first. Okay, that's just to make sure this is a temporary coloring. There you go. We have Milo from the show of the same name as Ed. Dressing up as Ed from Eddsworld. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's see. Excuse me. Now there are two indications that Ed is addicted to coke. There are in almost every episode of Eddsworld, it's shown that Ed has an addiction to cola, and there are a few episodes where he was addicted to bacon. The most prominent was the one where he rivals against Tord. Now, to anybody who says to me, why am I including Tord's addiction for guns? Hey, it could have been worse. Here, there's another addiction which I'm sadly not allowed to. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say on YouTube because of YouTube's guidelines. It starts with the number H and it ends with I. It's Be glad it wasn't that. I mean, guns are a bit little microscopic safer than the other addiction. Okay, his addiction is done. How about the collector meeting Eduardo. Which collector? I know a lot of characters named the collector. There's one from Mortal Kombat. Oh wait, his name begins with a K, not a C. There's one from Skylander Superchargers. There's one from Marvel, and of course recently, spoiler alert, one from the Owl House. Which one is it again? Did you see the live episode? Cause I wish I saw Castle Grande's entire. Yes, I did recently see the Loud House time trap. So, immediately, parts of it do remind me of the Ed, and Eddie episode in Like Ed, where they look at the packages and they end up ruining it. But I will say it's a little bit. I will say, when it comes to time travel, of course, there are some things a bit illogical, like how come the kids are still there even though the parents never had them. Have you ever seen WT Future recently? I haven't recently, but I can still remember how good it was. Anyways, what was I again? All right, let's continue where I am. Let's see. All right. Now here's a little funny fact. In the original, when Eddsworld in near the around 2004 to 2008, the Eddsworld characters were a little bit established as Ed being sort of the smart one, or the knight, or the in of the group, while Tom was originally the dim-witted one, and Matt is the egotistical guy who looks himself in the mirror. In later incarnation, and Tord was just there. In the later incarnations, after Tord left, Matt became the characters were changed a bit. Matt became more less intelligent and more, but he still was addicted to himself. Tom became more of the voice of reason. And he relatively stayed the same. You could say that. Matt is the goofy of the bunch. Tom is perhaps the. I'm not okay. Maybe Tom is perhaps the Donald Duck of the bunch. I mean, he's perhaps the most angry of the Eddsworld gang. A little something Tom and Matt is Ed is like the Mickey Mouse of the group. Tom is like the Donald Duck of the group, and Matt is like the Goofy of the group. In a sense. When I was younger, when I just got into Eddsworld, I used to make a comparison to the characters and the Eds from Ed, and Eddie. I used to think that Ed and Tom are the doofus, are the dim-wits. Matt and Eddie are the egotistical ones, and Double D and Ned are the smart ones. I don't think that's the case anymore, because I don't think that's the case anymore because the character change. The first Eddsworld episode I remember seeing was Moving Targets. It was a friend of mine at school that showed me the show. It was a science project. Not science project. It was a school project. We were just learning about something. Because now that because of that show, I was heavily influenced. I wanted to make my own animations, starting in 2009. The Rhino and Doll Christmas animation was basically inspired by the Eddsworld. Was basically inspired by the Eddsworld Christmas specials. And it's also the reason why I often like to make at least one Christmas animation every year, and I never miss a single day ever since. I never miss a single Christmas day ever since. And that's what Eddsworld used to do. Used to have at least one animation for Christmas every year. That is until 2011 when Ed stopped doing Christmas animations. It was because that was the year when he had a second dosage of leukemia, the cancer to white blood cells. And it wouldn't be long until a year later when he would sadly pass away. And like I said, but I may have said this before, but I was distraught when Ned passed away this quickly and at such a young age. I mean, he died at age 23. At this day and age, I am 20. Currently, at the time I made this video, I am 28. I'm like 5 years older than when Ed's passing age. At this day and age, he would be probably 33 or 34 this year. It's just very sad. I'm going to be 25 in July. Congrats. You just reminded me of this comic book where Matt is like, you should draw me more. Then Ed draws Matt in a ballerina suit. He's like, you should draw me less. That's Matt taken care of. Now, do you want me to do his addiction next, or do you want me to do Tom next, or anything else? Doesn't really matter the order. I already did Ed, so can I move on to something else? Let's see. What was that name of? Okay, that's he kind of looks a bit creepy. Then again, he for some reason this mammoth creature character sort of reminds me a little bit of I don't know why, but every time I look at him, he sort of reminds me of that rapper character from the Clint Eastwood music video. You know, the parts where he's like, "Finally, somebody let me out of my cage. Do 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 in the age. Now I couldn't be there. No, you shouldn't be scared." I don't know. I think that he just keeps reminding. His design kind of keeps reminding me of that. I don't know why. I mean, the abominable snowman from Monsters Inc. is a lot cuter and fluffier. And it also looks like he has no tongue. The thing, his throat part, it looks like it's looks like it's in the position of the tongue. How does he speak? Oh wait, does he ever speak even? Does he only just do grunts and stuff? There was a time when Ed did I mean, at one point Ed did once had his show being offered for television, but he of course declined the offer, and for good reason. I mean, we all know how nowadays animation is treated. Nowadays, hence why the new deal for animation is made. And also, if Eddsworld were to be made on TV, it would probably be cancelled because when you're running a show for if you have a show that you are so passionate for and you want to run it forever, or just to keep the legacy open, I think it's best that you don't let unless you're extremely lucky like SpongeBob or the Owl House. Well, there's a good chance your show could get canceled if you're not able to before it can last the amount of length you want it. It can be forever, or it can, even if you want it to last forever, or even if you want it to end at a certain time. Like of course I may have said this before, but Dana Terrace, the creator of the Owl House, she wanted the show to last for at least 4 seasons, but because one of the Disney executives said the Owl House did not fit the Disney brand, they cut it short to just to have just season 3 as a series of 4 40-minute specials. I mean, it must be quite disheartening to know that behind the scenes, it ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It ain't. And speaking of the entertainment industry, speaking of the animation industry, some of the Eddsworld folks, they did actually get a part in the animation industry. And Paul, one of the animators, Paul, who did the animation for Space Face, he actually managed to get Landero. He also voiced his own self character in some episodes of Eddsworld, like in Moving Targets. But he also did the animation for Space Face and the End. He also nowadays he actually worked in the animation industry. He animated the intro for Amphibia. He did some animation for the Cartoon Network 25th anniversary bumper. He also animated for Rick and Morty and, believe it or not, Thundercats Roar. And Aaron Hansen, or Egoraptor, he also he used to work with Eddsworld on something like Life in the Portal Madness, and also providing the voice of Super Guy in WT Future. And he later became a prominent voice actor for Mighty Magiswords, and even voicing the Snaggleback Beast in the Owl House. And Game Grumps. Let's see, who's next? That was of course, Tom has an Now, here's another interesting fact. There are times when Eddsworld actually made me learn something. Apparently, Eddsworld is when I first knew the term Jehovah's Witness. Yes. Basically, it's a religion where you don't celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah or pretty much any holiday. That's what somebody once told me about Jehovah's Witnesses, and it's also a religion that a lot of people poke fun of. The Nostalgia Critic pokes fun of it. Even Eddsworld themselves poked fun of the religion. I mean, have you seen Hello Hell Hole, where Tom wasn't allowed to go use the the regular hell entrance. He was only allowed the Jehovah's Witness entrance, and he's like, holy sock puppet in a sausage factory, and it was nothing but blank, and it later becomes a parody of Line Rider. The only other person I know who was a Jehovah's Witness was Michael Jackson. And that's about it, really. I don't know anybody else. I think I should have put in that little. I should have put in that little Easter egg of that Tommy Bear. And in case you don't know, there's an Easter egg that's kind of like the equivalent of the Look So Junior ball. It's called the Tommy Bear. Basically, it's a teddy bear that resembles Tom in his earlier design. It serves as an Easter egg character. Like when you see an Eddsworld episode, it's all you gotta do is try and find that little. That little teddy bear. It's appeared in almost every single Eddsworld episode. There was even a custom plushie of it. And it was delivered. I think it was given to Ed himself. Here we go. We have Tom meeting Tom. Looks like that's the main cast done. I got about half an hour, but I think I can make something like this quick. Anyways, which version of Mixiek Spitlick? There's quite a number of versions. There's the Superman the Animated Series version. There's the Justice League action version. There's the Legion of Superhero, Legion of Super Friends version from the 70s. There's the Lego version. Ah, yes. Yeah, the one where you mentioned Mr. Mixelplick.
No, repeat after me, bright boy. It's Mix. Yes. Spit lick.
Eddsworld was a great show. Yeah, yes it was. It's still going on. Matt is in charge of production, and he's like the only Eddsworld. He's the only original Eddsworld member left to continue the legacy of Eddsworld. There are at least three different chapters in Eddsworld. There's the original Eddsworld where there's the original Eddsworld where there's the original Eddsworld series where Ed is just made all his animations from the 2003 to 2012. And then there's Eddsworld Legacy, the one that was made after Ed's passing as a way to honor Ed and to help support as a bit of a donation to charity and to help keep the legacy of Eddsworld alive. And there's even and the current one our current Eddsworld chapter is Eddsworld Beyond. The first one was the showrunner of the first one is Ed Gord. The showrunner for the legacy one was Tom, and our current showrunner is Ed and his family. It's now some people did. Now they did at one point. Tom did get flack for the donation thing, saying that this is disgusting. It was you're basically profiting out of a recent man you knew. And he was giving some major flack, and this also led to this also left him very, very depressed. Just, he I mean, even though he was tasked to try and, even though it was Ed's wishes to have the show run as long as he for run fair, he just couldn't do it anymore. He was severely depressed that his best friend is gone, and even to this day, even though with stuff like ASDF, which is still going on to this very day, Tom is just not his usual. He's just really depressed. And recently, Tom made an ASDF video using other people's submissions for their own ASDF jokes. I tried to submit my own, but that never got qualified. I didn't think the joke was that great anyway. The joke I tried to tell was the unicorn was standing there. He's very angry, and then this random person says, "Oh, look, a carrot!" And then he pulls off the unicorn's horn and eats it like a carrot. And then in the later scene, a rhinoceros shows up, and all angry and stuff. And then the guy goes, "Oh, look, a banana!" But as he tries to pull the rhino's horn, it acts like a lever, and it's either something falls on his head like an anvil, or a trap door, or something else random that happens, like an, I don't know, explosion. It's just, I didn't fully think of the punch line for that part, but it's just giving you an idea of what the setup is. It never got qualified. I mean, he's gone through. He tries his dang hardest to read to about 1,000 different comments. There was like over 1,000 submissions. He could only choose like 30 or 50 or something like that. But it's not easy to read over 1,000 comments. It takes Oh, somebody deleted a comment. Meow, meow. I'm a cow. Say meow, meow. No! I like trains. Okay, that's Zanta Claws taken care of. Now there's the addictions and the as the rest of as the addictions and Ed's rival neighbors. Hmm. The owl tea. Yeah, I'll wait. Eduardo's a different guy. My mistake. So, let me see the Oh, but it's kind of fun to see the character kind of drunk. I think I understand because I want to be as kid friendly as possible. There was a time when alcohol was kind of allowed to be shown towards kids. Heck, there was even a time when guns were allowed to be shown to kids. But nowadays, with even especially with recently what's happened in Texas, yeah, I think it's best that that something like this should be regulated. But even then, there are some shows where even if it was for kids, where guns were kind of essential. I mean, during production of season 2 of Beast Wars, when the Maximals and the Predacons were given a transmetal upgrade, the weapons did not include any guns for weapons for the most part. Most of the characters, they had no weapon, they had no guns, which was kind of an essential thing for the Beast Wars series. So what they did is that they did compromise on some things, like they have some of the Beast Wars weapons, transmetal weapons, retooled as like ray guns or plasma cannons, like Megatron's tail weapon. It looked like it was just something for snapping, but in the show it was used as a plasma cannon. And Tarantulas's wheel, kind of, when in robot mode, it may look like a chainsaw, but but in the show it was used to fire energy beams or something. And Cheetor's mittens, cat hand mittens, were used to shoot plasma energy as well. Rat Trap didn't have his tail used as a weapon very often, but so they just used his previous gun from the pre-transmetal figure, the season 1 figure. Yeah. It wasn't until they had Rampage which they kept the gun. They gave him a gun, and same with Depth Charge. And so let's see. All right. It's kind of weird for. Okay. I thought it was. Sorry, I thought it was. I must mistaken it for somebody else. I thought it was Accelerate. No, it wasn't. It was a XJ9. Doesn't she have her own weapons? I mean, does she have to? Are they handheld or are they? Or are they part of her body? Just letting you. Just let me know. Are they part of her body or is she holding them in her hands? I guess Yeah, she has lasers and missiles. Holding them in her hands, both actually. Okay. I best give her a little bit of a something to give her that look. I don't know if there was an episode when she. When she actually did dress up as this, but there was an episode that a lot of people of Eddsworld where a lot of people had a lot of mixed feelings for. It was the episode Salunatics. Some still like that. Some like the episode for its new animation, for its different art style, and a nice nod to the old west. While others they kind of trash it for its art style, like its low frame rate, its animation, and say it's a little too tame of a Western animation. Actually, why did I bother including that hat? Never mind. Excuse me, I just need to drag this down a bit because just a little, like I said before, when you're working on Adobe Macromedia Flash, or Adobe Flash or Adobe Animate nowadays, is you have to draw a line. You have to draw a line in order to give some room for, in order to make, to further scroll down on something. There. I know it sounds very confusing, but it is what it is. By the way, fellas, just recently on Twitter, there's an upgrade for Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, and I'm not just talking about Jenny, Hugo, and Rocco coming to the game, but now the voice acting patch has been activated, so now we get to hear the characters voiced by their respective voice actors again. And mostly, I mean, they brought back the original voice of Jenny, they brought back the voice of Patrick, Sandy, SpongeBob, and even the 1980s Leonardo and Michelangelo returned to voice. The original Townsend Coleman and Cam Clark have returned to voice Leonardo and Michelangelo. Of course, there are a few replacements like Nigel's voice actor Tim Curry is unavailable to be the voice, so they had to replace him with I think it was Jim Mescamin. He's the same guy who was like the third voice of the genie from Disney's Aladdin. And, ooh, this is an interesting one. Okay, where was I? There's also, the voice of April O'Neil is also replaced. It's a completely new voice actress. I know her as the voice of Wingblade in the Transformers Power Up the Primes trilogy. And she's also Becky in the Casagrandes. Yes. There's the other of course there's Aang. Aang has a completely different voice actor. Someone who's not played Aang in any of the previous incarnations. And I'm surprised they actually brought back Lincoln's I think it was sixth voice actor to play Lincoln, Bethany Griffin, and he is our current voice of Lincoln in the Loud House show. And I'm surprised they actually brought him to voice Lincoln in the game. I mean, usually they would just find somebody else to find. Never mind. I've lost my train of thought. Now now because we have Hugh Neutron and Rocco coming back, I'm wondering if the original voices are also gonna come back as well, including Carlos Ellis Rockwee. I mean, he has had a hand in voicing in video games. He was the original voice of Spyro. He was Hot Dog in Fiesta in Skylanders. And I think he was also Crocker in a few Fairly Odd Parents video games. I can't remember. Oops. Well, Chikorita is able to move its leaf, so it wouldn't be out of the ordinary if Chikorita were to hold on to that mirror with its leaf. The voice of Carlos Casa. Carlos Senior Casagrande, and okay, do you guys know about the rivals of Ed, Tom, and Matt? Eduardo, Mark, and John. Their first appearance was in Hammer and Fail, and they were like, "What are you losers doing now?" Well, if you must know, we're building an extension to our house.
We did that last week, didn't we, Mark?
And it looks like a giant apartment.
Took us, what, couple of hours?
Probably what inspired you to do it. You want them to be shocked, hey? Now, of course, now there are times when Eddsworld had voice actors that had to go through quite a number of replacement voice actors. Like, I'm not sure how many characters are Can I have him shocked because the idea of Eduardo being shocked by Raichu is just too good, and it would definitely please Ed. Just letting or let me just Now, another thing with Mark that makes him the opposite of Ed is that he has an addiction to Diet Coke. Okay. According to Ed, he's like, hey,
Mister. Hey, I got a package.
This delivery man is like,
I got a package from Mr. Eddsworld for eight gallons of Diet Coke. You sign over here, buddy.
Diet Coke? Wait a minute, this has been a mistake here. I ordered
Regular Coke,
says Eduardo. Now, amongst the rivals, Eduardo's like the only American of the group. Well, the rest are all British. Yes. And funny enough, his theme song sounds very like a Spanish-y guitar riff, like let's see. Do you know that Dev Mac is gonna voice Sonic in Sonic Prime? I am aware of the Sonic voice actor thing, and I heard the casting for Sonic Prime is it Canadian? Because this ain't the only time Sonic had a Canadian cast. I mean, there was Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, which had some of the well-known voice actors from Canada voice in that show, like Gary Clark, who you may know as Optimus Primal in Beast Wars. He plays Grounder. Somebody doesn't like Diet Coke. My sister does. Personally, I prefer regular Coke. But sometimes I have no choice but to take Coke Zero. Because they don't have regular Coke available. So where was I on the Yeah, it was And another thing with Eduardo is that he often mistreats his friends, like when he's like, yeah, we like to see you guys watch and fail, but we got bigger things to do. And Tom and John is like, we do? Oh yeah, real better things. And then he's like, you low-life garbage, such an idiot, I never liked you. And in the second part of Hammer and Fail, it turns out the apartment, the extension house thing was a bit of a fraud. So they were forced to help Tom. They were forced to help Ed, Tom, and Matt, and they said something about stupid thing, stupid, and you guys are stupid. And then John is like, I thought she says we were stupid. And then Eduardo goes, I'm gonna punch you in the face. Like I said, he's kind of a jerk to his pals. Here's another art style I've noticed with when it comes to Eddsworld. Sometimes they don't draw the full line thing. Sometimes when it comes to the line thing, they don't do it fully. Let me show you what I mean. I mean, usually when we do fingers, usually I just do 4 fingers, we do it like this. But for Eddsworld, theirs is a bit different. They're like this and like this. They don't have an extra line thingy going on. And they just have it like that. And the same can be said with the shoelaces. I wonder why, though. Well, maybe this was a stylistic choice. Excuse me, I just need a bit of room I just need to add some room for... Yeah, it's an hour in, but I'm just gonna keep, going on until I finish, Eduardo's friends. I will say there's one criticism I have to give when it comes to Eduardo and his friends. Mark has very little development. In fact, we don't know what his true personality is. I mean, with Eduardo, we know that he's very egotistical and he treats his friends like a crud, and as for John, I think that was an episode where it explores a bit of backstory. I've forgotten, but he's often he's often a very clueless one. But he's also quite abused. He's basically the Meg of the group, like Megwood the Wizard, the Squidward. And often, you feel very sorry for him. But it makes sense because Eduardo is the villain. With something like SpongeBob and Patrick, when it comes to the Squidward torture episodes, SpongeBob and Patrick, they're supposed to be the good guys, but sometimes they go a bit too far with the unintentionally torturing Squidward. This has happened quite a number of times. One of the worst scenarios is, of course, Ink Lemonade, where Patrick basically sees Squidward as a cattle for Ink Lemonade. It's like reenacting Benjamin Franklin with the lightning in the kite. I just hope nobody's ever touched an electric eel, otherwise you'll be stunned. Heard the voltage is enough to stun a crocodile. Oh, what was this one for? Did I, oh no, did I, oh no. Let's see, did I, I think I might have been missing, oh wait. Oh wait, these are the buttons. Silly me. They thought I accidentally deleted an image. Nope, it was just buttons. Silly me. Okay, there's only Mark and John left. Let's see if we can make a good use out of these characters with these last two. Anyways, I already did Matt. It's Ken. Oh, hi, Mark. You know that from Tails Prowl is going to be voiced by Vincent Tong? That's weird. It's usually a little kid or a woman to play Tails. Yes, it's kind of odd that Tails is going to have a deeper voice. I'm kind of used to Sonic having a deeper voice, even though, admittingly, Jail White is my favorite Sonic voice. The
Up, over, and gone.
I can't. Admittedly, sometimes I question the design of the chin, and doesn't it look kind of like what some people would call Peter's chin, Peter Griffin's chin? Am I the only one who thinks that? He has a turtleneck for, instead of a sweater, he has a turtleneck. Okay, now for the the little touch of oops. Now, Eddsworld does occasionally show bits of blood here and there. One fine example is the Zombie Attack trilogy. That is one of the most blood and gory. That was like probably one of, if not the most blood and gory Eddsworld episode ever. ever made. And it's a trilogy, actually. There's arms being torn off. There's a bit of splatters here and there. Now, of course, in the later years, the blood has been toned down a bit, or they only occasionally use blood. Like in WT Future, there's this character named Ed, or Hellcard, who got stabbed, who gets killed by Future Ed, and Tom is like, "Holy pug in a pizza box!" Blah 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 blah. And here's a sad thing about the Hey Ed or Head guy. His voice actor, he's known to be a little John Crispolucci ish. He's been accused for doing what John Crispolucci did. Sheesh. It's really not easy to explain, but because of that, he has not been invited back to Eddsworld. They've cut all ties with him. Okay, that's yes, and finally we have John. Do you have anything nice to say about John, or do you think he should feel the same fate as Eduardo and Mark? Oh man, I've been so This is kind of out of character for Yoshi, but I don't know, I'm having a bit of fun with this one. Okay, now to include what he's hitting. Yeah, unlike the other characters, John has dotted eyes. Yes, I think it's supposed to go for the fact that his counterpart Tord, Tom, has no actual eyes. Yes. And so Tord is basically, his eyes are basically dotted, like Madeline and Christopher Robin and pretty much every character in Codename Kids Next Door. Hmm. Hmm. I would say that beating up John is like beating up a dead horse, but in this case, he's kind of literally, since spoilers, John actually died in the end. Of course, you could see that as non-canon, but I mean, there are times when Eddsworld doesn't follow too much continuity. I mean, some are very self-contained, like WT Future. The ending is with it ends with Matt changing everything in the future. And that's about it. And I think that should just about do it for the Eddsworld live stream. Let's see what we got. We have Milo dressed up as Ed, Kirby addicted to bacon and cola, Matt and Ruffy having a selfie, that owl character, the owl teacher from Timmy Time having alcohol, Tom meeting Tom, that My Singing Monster Yeti meeting Tord, Zanta Claws facing Mixia Spitlick, Chikorita looking at itself in the mirror, Jenny Wakeman with guns, Eduardo meeting Raichu, Mark getting backstabbed by BB-8, and Yoshi beating up John. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep, that's about it. Thank you for joining me, and thank you for helping me honor Eddsworld's 19th anniversary of his animations. And thank you for joining me in this live stream. So what's my next live stream going to be like? You missed everything, sadly. I hate love, Matt. So, could I do a McDonald's live stream? I'm actually thinking maybe one day I should do a fast food live stream, and I can include many different fast food brands like McDonald's, KFC, Pizza Hut, Burger King, Taco Bell, etc. I am thinking about that. Now, for my next live stream, I'm off to go for a picnic, and I brought some goody picnic stuff with me. Uh-oh. I just realized something. I must be highly aware of something that might eat my food in my basket. I have some fresh lasagna ready to be eaten. I hope that cat isn't out to get it. When's Paramount Plus coming to your country? I don't know. They haven't announced when it's coming. We don't have HBO Max, but we do have HBO Go, which is kind of similar. Anyways, thank you for joining me. Thank you for helping me with. Wait, let me see. Do you know there's a house character named Flora Desplora? Yes, I am aware of that, but I'm not exactly a big fan of that design of hers. And because of her name, she reminds me of another character from a show I do not want to talk about. Except if it's a character from Sleeping Beauty, or that Komodo dragon from Chester Zoo who is able to have babies without a male around. That's the only time I like to hear the word Flora. Have you seen Back to the Future? Not really. I haven't. No, not really. She is voiced by this. Didn't realize. Anyways, thank you for joining me. I'll see you all in the next live stream. And one more thing, Ed, wherever you are, thank you for giving us a great webtoon, and thank you for inspiring me to make my animations on YouTube, Newgrounds, and DeviantArt. Wherever you are, enjoy your Coca-Cola filled swimming pool. You may be gone, but your world will keep on spinning.